survivors, welcome to the State of Decay 2 stream. I'm your host, Geoffrey Card, and over here next to me is our special guest, Ken George. Hello, Ken.
Hello.
Ken George is the subject of our Dev of the Month article. If you go to stateofdecay.com, go to the news tab. It's one of the articles listed down below. Click the link. It says, I think, say hello to Ken George or something. It's the title of it, and it's got this face, so you'll recognize it. Go read that article, because it's about Ken George and how he, what he does, how he got here at Undead Labs. And if you've got questions for him, feed them into the chat, because they will come to me and we can ask Ken. So any questions about the Outfits update, which he was the programmer on, any questions about just what it's like to develop games on your own solo, what it's like to be a programmer, how you break into the game industry, all kinds of subjects. And I'm going to stop talking now, because we got to also introduce Brant.
No you don't. Hi.
Okay, sweet. So we're gonna pop into the game. So Brant, it looks like we've already got some outfits here. This character is tricked out. So I think our goal today is going to be to continue to try to enjoy the outfits update that has just landed, because it takes forever to unlock all these outfits. There are so freaking many of them.
There are a lot of them.
It's something like I think it's like we say over 80 because there's 81. I think.
That sounds right. That sounds like a thing we'd do.
So there's a lot to go and get. It takes a really long time. I think even some of our most stalwart players have been reporting that they, that they're still working on. They're still only partway through the list.
You can't get them all on one map either. So you have to.
That's true.
You got to jump around if you want everything.
So you got to pop around from place to place.
One of the things I love about this is that you go in here and it tells you where to look for things.
Oh yeah, if you're missing something, you can just hover over one of those locked ones.
Yeah, I'll hover over locked ones. Search containers in house to find this item, but then I think the leather jackets are broken up by certain.
Yeah, I think there's multiple colors of leather that I think we've got spread across some maps.
Yeah,
I don't remember which ones go where.
So I think you get the black leather and the chocolate leather anywhere. In fact, the chocolate leather is particularly fecund. Seems to be. It's like tribbles, because I know I found it immediately on 2 different accounts.
The popular one.
And actually, I got a bunch of tweets from somebody. What was their name? Their name was Meme, I think. Somebody named Meme and a bunch of numbers.
Talks to a
on
meme
Twitter.
on the internet.
I was talking to an actual. I met a meme. Everybody.
Wow.
But they were saying that they actually got like 6 chocolate leather jackets.
That's no good. You don't want that.
It seems like something was. Can you think of a mechanism that would have caused that, or is it just they have had really bad luck?
We tried really hard to make it so that you didn't get repeats for things. So what turns out it was real hard to do that kind of perfectly and guarantee you don't get any. What we do try to do is if you have a thing unlocked, you shouldn't get it again. So as soon as you see them, grab them, unlock them, and ideally you won't get another one. But if you have to look into seeing if he's getting a bunch of chocolate jackets.
Yeah. So if you are running into bug, like if you hear us say that things should work a certain way in the outfits update and they're not working that way for you, go to support.stateofdecay.com. I almost wanted to call that a link. That's not a link. That's a URL. Go to that URL down there and I think there's a community tab or something. No, that's where the wish list is. Anyway, there's instructions there. Report your issues, because we want to find out about them. We want to fill up Ken's bug list and everyone else's bug lists with the bugs that you guys found, so we can fix them and make sure that everything is shipshape. So before we get to interviewing you, though, let's just start with the elephant in the room, which is the fact that my hair is getting completely out of control. So right now, I mean, this looks like this is a mess. It's growing in on the side. This is supposed to be a mohawk, and it is just not even anything like that. It is a garbage fire. So I've got a hairdresser's appointment tonight to get this thing fixed up. And my question for you folks is, what color should I dye my mohawk? I've already done yellow, orange, and green on this stream. And so we're missing some colors from the rainbow. I've never done red, I've never done blue, and I've never done purple. And so I'm hoping that Megan can stick a poll in the chat and ask you folks what colors you're interested in. So I don't know how these polls work. So Megan will explain it in the chat. And just lock in your votes. I want to find out what color my hair is going to be. So get that started. When we got an answer, I'll let you guys know what it was.
Can we vote for buzz cut?
No, we are going to have a mohawk. Okay, I have made the decision that it's going to be a mohawk. That is off the table.
I vote for no hair.
So
we know.
Yeah, Brant is voting with his own his own choices.
Vote with
Yes.
your head.
He's
am.
voting with his head. I'm gonna say voting with your feet, but no. Brant's got hairy feet, so that doesn't make any sense.
Is that where it went?
What? You calling
Anyway.
me a hobbit?
I did call you a hobbit. So anyway, the point is we're gonna find out what color my hair is gonna be pretty soon. But okay, so we've got some questions coming in from the chat already, so let's go to some of those, and then we'll find out the answer about the hair in just a second. Okay. Let's see here. So Jaybird wants to know, is there an outfit that you like more than the rest? Did you have a favorite while you were working on this?
Yes.
Is it the one we can't talk
It's the
about
one
yet?
we can't talk about yet.
Okay. So
The
on
October 25th.
the October 25th one? Yeah, so on October 25th, anytime between October 25th and October 31st, you guys got to come back to the game because something crazy will happen. And we can't tell you what it is, but yeah, that is.
Yeah, if you can't log in for some reason, call your grandma, tell her to turn on your Xbox, and just start the game.
Yeah, I think, do you have to actually you have to load a save in order to get it unlocked?
I think you have to load a save, yes.
Okay, so you can't just
Do
go
that
to the main
be
menu
sure.
and get it. You got to get into the game.
Yeah, yes, that sounds right. I didn't write that part, but better log in, go into your closet, make sure you got it.
Okay, yeah, go. Make sure and you should check it out when you see, I'm sure whatever stream, let's see, when are we actually streaming?
And don't eat lunch before you do it.
So
Yeah.
we'll be streaming on the 28th, and so by then a bunch of you will already have it, but we'll have to talk about this outfit and the complete horror that it is.
It's pretty gnarly.
So that question came from Jaber, but it also came from Zeta. There's actually multiple people who wanted to know what your favorite outfit was.
Good, that's
the
the one.
I want to credit everybody who asked the question.
Still haven't found anything.
So, Amargavita has a question that actually this was handled by a designer, so you might not know the answer to this. They say, what is the percentage for RNG in the outfits? I think they're asking, what's the likelihood you'll get an outfit with any given search?
Yeah, that is. So the loot system is super complicated. I discovered. So I don't have a great answer to that. There's a lot of different things that designers do to figure out how much loot should be on a map and where you should find it at and things like that.
Yeah, like each map has got quotas of each certain thing that should arrive, and then it's got different limited places where those things can arrive. So if you're for instance, if you're looking for a military outfit and it shows up at military sites, if you're on a map that has a lot of military sites, there'll be a lower chance at each site of getting the thing. But if you've got fewer military sites, there'll be a higher chance at each site. You should get about the same number. Something like that.
Yeah, you should theoretically that quota bit is what someone tweaks to say you should get some number of chances for this thing to drop on this map. And outfits do work a little bit differently than other things because we do that thing I mentioned earlier where if you already have it, we try not to drop it again. But everything has kind of its own set rarity. So once you have a thing, it might kind of pull that item again, and you just don't get that one because you don't have it.
So people should expect the rate at which they get outfits to probably decrease over time as they're scraping at the top of the list.
Getting all of you're getting your chocolate jackets, all the common items should drop pretty quick.
I got something.
You got something.
I got a chocolate.
Speaking of a chocolate jacket,
I got a chocolate leather jacket.
Nice, perfect, exactly. So it sounds like, by the way, I'm getting messages from the moderators that actually the poll that we planned had trouble getting into the chat, and so we might have to find some other way for you folks to indicate what color you want me to dye my hair. So I'll let them work it out, and hopefully we'll find something to make it work. Okay, so what other questions we have here?
Did I get everything? Oh no.
So Raptor King wants to know, are there going to be any YouTuber-specific clothing or more clothing that is based on particular people in the community? Because we've got the Coconut Kid shirt.
oh yeah, yep.
And ouchie.
An ouchie, that's right. We've got an ouchie shirt. I think we're not really going to be revealing in advance what our plans are for outfits until they drop. So I don't know if we can really give you any indications on that. But we're always kind of looking for opportunities to sort of to call out the people who have been helping us out there on you guys' end. Because we do everything we can here to try to make the game as good as we can, but the game can't go anywhere unless you guys buy it and a bunch of you play it and you share it, and you share it on your own streams and all the work that you guys do out there to proselytize this game.
Well, and I'd also like to mention that if we don't get to you, it doesn't mean that we don't appreciate your contributions to the community. It's
Absolutely.
Just we don't have the bandwidth to do something for everyone. Though I'd love to be able to. But,
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, it's definitely not a sense of, there isn't some formal hierarchy of who gets this and who doesn't. It's more opportunistic. Somebody, like, just one day, was it Mark or somebody just had this inspiration, like, Coconut Kid could be a cereal.
Yes.
And just made a logo based on Coconut Kid's name.
Yeah.
And it was because inspiration struck. It wasn't because Coconut Kid won a contest or something like that. It was just, it occurred to us. And so that's kind of how it goes. It is pretty random, but, just like everything in State of Decay, it's pretty random, but hopefully you end up enjoying a fair number of the outcomes. So Ryan Price wants to know, what was the hardest item of clothing to create? Are there particular types of clothing that presented technical challenges or anything like that?
So I didn't, I am the engineer that helped out with this thing.
Yeah.
All
So
the
on the
all
art
the credit,
side.
yeah, all the credit
Thought
for
it said
making
it.
all this stuff, including the really gross Halloween costumes, goes to Scott and Susan.
Yeah.
I think there's a couple items in there that have custom animations and things in them that obviously take a little more time for somebody got. In the game already, there are hoodies and things that have like floppy bits and stuff that moves around when you're running, and those definitely make things a little more complicated.
And we actually got a question from someone. I think it was right before we started formally streaming. Where did I stick
Turn around,
this?
buddy.
So someone named Rowan Harv asked about skirts and dresses. Are there particular like technical challenges to those because they are so incredibly floppy?
Yeah, I think the general idea of like skirts and dresses and like I saw someone at some point asking for like trench coats, like longer things like that.
Yeah.
Is really hard to get that to a point where it doesn't start clipping through things and it has to work nice with all your different animations when you're crouching and you're going over things. So yeah, those are definitely a lot more intensive to make than just a t-shirt, let's say.
Because I mean, if we wanted to try to perfectly animate them to behave, like if they were sort of if the hero character of a game that's about one person always had a trench coat on, you would probably just animate it a lot to make sure it's always doing the right thing.
Yeah.
It's definitely an animate. We'd have to create a new rig and animate that, and then blow our animation budget
Yep.
basically on all the bones.
And then the only way to not do that would be to make it completely physics driven. But then that brings a whole bunch of challenges with it as well, right?
Yeah, it's like GPU versus CPU at that point, right? So.
Okay, so Scarproof wants to know, can we have the ability to change pants on all the outfits?
You could, in some world, yes. that would definitely. So we actually made that decision pretty early on in terms of there were some trade-offs we made that were made way early in development for kind of merging all of a character together to kind of make it a more efficient model to load and everything, which involves like you're not actually equipping a shirt and pants when you're in the closet. You're putting a whole body on.
Like even like your hands and ankles are part of this model, right?
Yeah. The thing you're putting on from that closet has arms and legs in it also. So yeah, kind of going into that and undoing that so you can make the more swappable pieces was kind of just a little bit out of scope for time and resources we had. So yeah, I'm not gonna plan on it. I wouldn't plan on it.
So Overlord Rhapsody wants to know, what coding language do you primarily use in and out of work, and how do you develop your coding skills further? How do you stretch yourself?
So we are primarily C++ here. Just a couple other tools and things that are written in Python and some other languages. I've done prior to here. I did a lot of C# and Java before. Those are probably my two primary ones before this. What was that second part? Is how do you do them further?
Yeah, like
how do you improve more?
How do you keep expanding
Yeah,
your repertoire?
make stuff like write some things. If you come across a problem or something that's annoyed you, like I hate it when I have to do this thing. I have to push all these buttons to get this to go. Try to write a thing to do it. So a bunch of really small projects to kind of see different types of problems and so come at different problems from different directions. Builds up your experience, and then you start to recognize these patterns as you see them elsewhere.
So So you actually spent some time doing a lot of solo work on programming and game development, like basically needing to motivate yourself to develop new skills and to have new experiences. And like how do you approach that? Because I can't do that in my own life. Somebody has to give me a job and say, we will only pay you if you do this.
Yeah.
And then I can do it.
That makes it easier. Yeah, I spent a couple years working on my own just to I decided I wanted to learn some game development stuff because I'd been working on non-game stuff before and got a little bored with it. And yeah, the getting yourself up in the morning and convincing yourself to work is hard when no one's saying, here's a paycheck, you need to do the thing and then we'll give you this money. And it's really, that's one of the biggest challenges to overcome is you have to kind of be interested in what you're doing to the point where you do want to. You gotta want to do it, right?
So gotta have the drive and the passion.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why you're suggesting that if somebody wants to, to learn to program, one thing they can do is think of specific problems they actually care about solving.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
think of something that you want to see working a certain way, or problem you want to fix, or just something you think is neat.
So did you find that game development was pretty accessible? Like when you decided you wanted to get into it, like where did you start? Did you just build something from scratch, or did you like grab a publicly available engine, or?
Yeah, so I started with Unity. So I just kind of grabbed, it's well known as being a pretty friendly thing to jump into. C# as a language, a lot more forgiving in a lot of ways than C++. Mm-hmm. Unreal as an engine, now that I've gotten to Unreal a little bit here, was an engine that was built for a game. So it has a lot of opinions about how you do things.
Yeah, it's very specific to one particular game at first, right?
It clearly like they were building a game and built an engine to make that game. Unity is very much a very open, like we built a thing for you to make games in. So it is pretty open. It's very easy to pick up and do things. It doesn't have, unless they've added it since I looked at it last, it doesn't have anything like Unreal's blueprints, which is really good if you're not a programmer to hop in there and be able to visually lay some stuff out.
Yeah, there's a lot of game building tools that are specifically designed so that a programmer can go in there and do the actual like very powerful work with code where the sky's the limit. You can do practically whatever you want. But then there will be like some kind of more limited language that a designer like me, who's a little bit technical but doesn't know how to program, can get in there and I can do some of the work so that you don't have to do all of the work. So we don't end up in this relationship where it's like, I can just write down a bunch of things and then go away, and then you have to do everything. Yeah. Like we should try to split. We believe a lot in sort of splitting up the work so that you do the stuff that requires your level of expertise, and anything that doesn't require that, we find a way for me to do it.
Sure.
Or for a designer like me to do it, so I actually get elbows deep in the actual work. I'm actually building things myself, and we all have the same level of like investment in the work.
Yeah. A lot of when you're working with a team like this winds up being. How do you split responsibilities? A lot of engineering work can often be like giving other team members the tools to do the stuff they want to do, and that really helps kind of distribute some workload and get everyone involved in the process.
So Whippy7744 is asking about the wish list. So the wish list is a place where we collect ideas that come from the community and give people a chance to not just express their ideas, but also vote up each other's ideas, and we can find out which things are more popular in our community. So if you go to support.stateofdecay.com, down there, there's a community tab. If you go there, you should be able to see where the wish list is. If you've got ideas for things you would love to see in the game, go ahead and add them there, or read through the things that are already there and upvote the ones that you care about, because you'll notice outfits. I don't know if we've actually resolved it yet, but outfits spent a long time at the top of that list, and now we've nailed it, and now we got to start working our way down. So find other things that you want to add to this game and let us know about them.
Yeah, I wonder if that's still at the top of the list.
I don't know. I didn't check before the stream. I'm sure that Joe probably did something with it, but yeah, I can't promise. Let's see here. Oh, B Downs wanted to know what gun you've been using, Brant.
This is the RTX
Stormbreaker?
Hordebreaker.
Oh, it's the Hordebreaker. Oh, that's the longer, the sniper rifle one. Yeah, but it's got the enormous drum mag on it, which is great.
Yeah, that's courtesy of Red Talon and their fine engineers.
So that is a Daybreak weapon, isn't it?
Yes.
Like I think it probably either was bought from the from the Red Talon Trader, or maybe came with a Red Talon soldier?
I
Did
think
come
it
with
comes with one of the Red Talon people that we recruited.
Okay, cool. So Daybreak is how you get those guns in some one way or another. So if you haven't checked out Daybreak, especially if you if you haven't checked out Daybreak, go ahead and check that out, because that's where you get that gun. Let's see here.
But I think you can get it from the Red Talon trader.
Oh, so Joe, who's been moderating one of the chats, he just said that, he has moved the outfits feature into the confirmed features category on the wish list.
Nice.
So you can see, hopefully over time, as we keep doing things that you guys are asking for, that list will start growing, and you'll be able to see how many times we've listened to the audience and gone out and made things that you guys wanted. So Ace Carmine wants to know, where's the OG Shark Hoodie guy outfit? Not in the game yet. That was one of my favorites too, from the original game. Though we have so many animal hoodies now in the game, like I don't even know if you need a shark anymore. Like we've got squid hoodies, we got donkey hoodies. Okay, sharks are kind of the kings and queens of the animal kingdom.
Come on, the squid hoodie wins everything.
The kraken.
Squid hoodie is actually that might be my favorite non-new piece of. I have to prefer all the outfit, the closet items now, but the squid hoodie is quite good.
It is, yeah. It is a very clever idea. I'm kind of surprised there aren't more of those just in the world. I'm surprised one of my kids hasn't found a narwhal hoodie yet, because they've got so much narwhal paraphernalia right now.
Well, because narwhal's the best wall.
Yeah, that is true. Okay, other questions. Okay, so in the last stream, we said that we believed that outfits were going to be available to clients in multiplayer. But I think we might have been wrong about that on the stream.
No.
It is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Are they just less common? Or because a lot of players are reporting that they're not seeing
I think what happened was if you join somebody's game who hasn't started a new map recently, I think it has something to do with how it's rolling for loot.
Because they're kind of like different loot tables for all the different clients,
as soon as you change maps or change difficulties, then the clients are starting to get stuff all the time.
Okay, cool. Good, because I've been only hearing the message that people were not getting stuff, and I was like, I feel like we need to explain this.
I went into Fallout's game 2 days ago and got half the stuff that I needed.
Okay.
So I mean, it's
all right.
It's out there. Sometimes you have to change maps. At least that's what I found.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty easy if you're the way that the loot is kind of set up on the map for host and clients. It's pretty easy for the host to kind of chew through all of the loot. If they're playing, got an older map that they've been playing on for a while before clients jumped in.
No, I want
Gotcha. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. That's a reasonable sounding explanation. Let's see here. Okay, so and I hear that there's a bug where for some players, outfits are ending up in their inventory instead of getting consumed and put in the closet.
Yep.
Do you know what's going on there and how they can avoid that?
Yeah. From what I can tell right now, anyhow, it's a very specific thing that'll do it, and it's when you start a new game and pull in your legacy survivors. It'll only happen on the legacy survivors and only on that one session right after you've done it. So
if you quit and come back, it shouldn't happen anymore.
It shouldn't happen anymore.
But you've still got a bunch of clothes in your storage locker.
You should still be able to once you quit and come back, if you loot those again, because the thing
to
I'm
pull them
doing
out of
happens when you're kind of moving things between inventories.
Okay.
So as long as you get to move that into a character inventory, again, it should do the unlock. It should consume it just fine.
I'm so glad we asked you that. So you guys, if you've been having that trouble, you've got a solution. So go and try that out, and we'd love to hear what's going on. And if you guys have any problems we aren't able to explain here, or that that we aren't able to resolve, and again, take them to support.stateofdecay.com. I'm not pointing at Ken. I'm pointing at the words down at the bottom of the screen. Go there. Because you can get help from because Joe Swarner, who's moderating one of our chat rooms right now, he manages that whole thing, and he's very good at it. He knows the answers to most of your problems, and the ones that he doesn't, he is very passionate about coming around and bothering us until we try to fix them. So report your stuff there. We would love to find out about it. Every time we update the game, we want to know if something went wrong. So
Joe doesn't bother us.
please do that.
Joe gently pushes pushes us in the right direction.
He brings an enormous dog with him, which I find incredibly intimidating.
I think it's a giraffe and a tiger
It is.
mix
Yes.
that is masquerading as a dog, so it can come to work.
That actually, so we got a question as a response to your Dev of the Month article from Zendra the Muppet, who wanted to know who is your favorite office dog.
You can't make me answer who's that. They're right. They'll see it. They'll hear me.
That's true. They're watching the stream.
Yeah, I can't offend any of them.
So just out of 10, are they 11 through 15?
Yeah,
Some
just about some of them. There's some good 13, 14s in there. We got was Roscoe? Is the one that sits near
Roscoe
us?
is Roscoe sits near us.
I love that Roscoe refuses to go under anyone's desk without hitting the maximum number of chords.
Yes, and also knees. I'll frequently like sort of just be doing whatever work I'm doing, and suddenly I'm hearing this like flap, 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 flap against my knee. I'm like, what is happening right now? And I start like getting out of my chair, and then it's just a dog. I don't have a dog
Roscoe's
at home,
good.
so
Roscoe's good.
I'm not used to that feeling. I don't know what's happening. most of the time.
Roscoe's mom sits right across from me, so Roscoe's always under my desk. And yeah, there's this clear path with all the wires that he could go through, but he's like, no,
It's boring.
I'm just gonna barrel forward.
It's a jungle gym down there.
And whatever happens, happens. I love it. Roscoe's awesome.
I do love the giraffe dog as well.
Yeah, the giraffe dog is crazy. So you talked a little bit in the article about like your early gaming experiences that shaped you, like having an NES as a kid, and even being old enough to have played an Atari.
Yeah, I do remember some.
So I had a ColecoVision when I was little,
Okay.
which was a ridiculous machine that no one's ever heard of. So what were like the early gaming experiences that sort of shaped you as an eventual game developer?
Definitely a lot of that early NES stuff. I remember playing a lot of like the early RPGs like Final Fantasy, like the original Dragon Quest and things, and I spent a lot of time in those. And I guess that's more in Super and SNES era, but like those ones, and I remember playing to the extent of all else for a while, Bionic Commando on the.
Oh, yeah.
I used to play that. I used to play that at Skateland USA in
Yep.
Greensboro,
Yep.
North Carolina.
What a great game.
Yeah.
I loved that
So,
game.
grappling hooks are never not fun.
Okay, so we might not know the answer to this one, but Nightshade Zero Rune wants to know how rare or common are the ninja hoodies in the game? Are they on the rarer end of the available clothing?
They're no chocolate jackets for sure. I think there's one ninja hoodie that's part of a bounty.
We got the skeleton hoodie.
The skeleton hoodie, I
as
think, is part of a bounty.
That's right.
They are. I don't think they're exceptionally rare, but they're kind of rare. Just the kind of the base colored ones. Yeah. I don't know off the top of my head what the loot percentages are and anything.
Ace Carmine wants to know: will all the default clothing eventually make it to the outfits tab?
Probably not.
There's a lot of it.
There's a lot.
There are hundreds of possible characters in the game. I think I wouldn't be surprised if we did still draw from that well for some of the upcoming outfits that we release for the closet. But I would be really surprised if we made it through everything.
Yeah, there's a lot, and there's definitely something to the idea that a lot of people are kind of survivors kind of have their own personalities and they come with their own clothes and things that sometimes you just can't get anywhere else.
Yeah. And I like that too, because it's sort of it feels like when a character is created, they're created out of a lot of different pieces. They've got their cultural background they come from, they've got their name, they've got their traits, they've got the skills that grow out of those traits, and their outfit is a part of that. And when you're sort of as a player trying to understand who the character is, like all of those different pieces kind of mush together to kind of sort of make a person. And we wouldn't want to it was actually the thing that made me the most nervous about bringing outfits into the game is that I was afraid that we might take away some of that uniqueness of some of the characters.
Right.
And so we wanted to make sure that when you change the character's outfit, we weren't permanently changing it. And you could always go back to their default personality outfit.
Yeah, and there's a reason it's outfits instead of character customization, right? Like
Right, exactly.
Instead of changing features about who this person is.
Yeah, because it's such a huge part of State of Decay is discovering people and sort of like, you can't just decide who you get. You can't just invent people. Just like in real life, if you were trying to survive in the apocalypse, you couldn't just invent the perfect people to come with you. You'd have to take whatever broken, messed up people you got, and that's a huge part of the game. And we don't want to violate that too much. And so outfits is great because in real life you can change your clothes.
Yeah, you can take your hat off.
You can totally we've been practicing putting hats on and off for the past few streams in here, and it really works, guys. You can change your appearance.
You can go outside right now and put a hat on and take it off.
It's crazy. You can even change your hair color, allegedly.
You just can't run a poll for it.
Yeah, apparently we can't run the poll for it. No, I think the poll might be working now. So if folks want to vote on my hair color, I think that red was supposed to be 1, purple is 2, and blue is 3. Nice that they put purple between red and blue because it feels like it's on a color wheel or something. That's very nice. But yeah, so I think that you can hit ! Vote and pick a number and help choose my hair color. So now, hair color fades really fast. I don't know, whatever hair color I put in, by the next stream, it might actually already be fading. And so I'll make sure to tweet out a picture of myself with the brand new hairstyle as soon as I've got it so that you guys can see it in its full glory. So you can follow me on Twitter at Rangatang, and that's why Igor Slagathor got us that monkey. It was because Rangatang was the name I was going by on Twitter.
All makes sense.
So follow me there if you want to see. And I'll put a link to my Twitter account on the doobly-doo if you're watching this on YouTube later. So anyway, that's how you'll be able to find out what I look like. Oh, interesting. So Kai and T wants to know, will there be face makeup options?
Well, that's not a thing I thought about at all.
Yeah, I didn't think about it either. I'm not actually sure what challenges, if there's any additional challenges with messing with the actual face textures. There might or might not be.
Yeah, I don't actually know how we do any sort of dirt or any sort of blood modification or stuff in the game right now.
Yeah, that's true. I think there might be some exploration we could do it. We'll have to come back to you on that one. Send it to the wish list at support.stateofdecay.com, and we'll see how many other people are interested in that feature. Let's see here. Oh, so Awesome Twitch Dude wants to know, is there some particular outfit that you hope gets into the game at some point? Something from real life, or from
real life,
or from your brain that you just want to get into the game. They always ask us this, by the way. They always ask us, what do you want to put in the game? So that they can say, that feature confirmed as soon as we say it.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But not confirmed. If he even comes up with an answer, not confirmed.
Yeah, I don't know. I generally like a lot of the T-shirts with the different logo designs we've got.
Oh yeah.
It'd be neat to see some other logos and stuff come in. But yeah, I don't think I have any particular fashion. I'm not super fashionable. I don't know if you can tell necessarily.
Yeah, I just wear Brant's old clothes. And you think I'm joking? Half of my shirts are Brant's old shirts.
I did think you were joking.
I don't buy clothes anymore. I just take them from Brant. Brant buys new clothes and then he gives me the old ones.
It's a pretty sweet deal.
Yeah. Let's see here. Okay, so you talked about this a little bit, but maybe we can go into some more detail about it. Luxbringer327 wants to know, I only have 2 clothing items left, and they're really hard to find. Any reason the last ones are so hard?
Part of what, kind of what we talked about earlier is that they are you've got a big list of stuff that you can get from certain containers and things. You got to make sure you're looking in the right containers and stuff for where this particular, I don't know which item this is. Mm-hmm. Could be on a different map, like we were saying, some of them are on different maps. Even if you're finding the right container, you're kind of pulling things out of that table, and eventually you're left with, maybe there were 10 items and there's only the one in there now, but you're hitting all of these 9 other slots that you already have unlocked. As it goes on, you've just got a much smaller pool of things that are left for you to get. So. Definitely check out in the closet. Look, highlight the clothes you want, and make sure that you're actually searching in the places where the clothes are supposed to be. And then, is it possible, if somebody had a map that was partially looted before they got the outfits update, is it possible that they've already searched all the containers that could have those clothes, and they need to move maps before they'll get them? Totally, yeah. There's particularly if I think the most common place to find things is in dressers in houses. So someone could have looted all of their houses. And maybe the only thing left on the map now is the military outpost, which maybe you'll get a camo hat or something like that.
Yeah.
In fact, I could search one right now and maybe get some military gear.
Let's see.
I will do so.
But yeah, finding the right location for some of them, because some of them are specific. So if they have that little hint text when you're looking over the lock thing, make sure you're trying to find it that way.
Oh, so Zeta has a question. I got the impression that you could actually read Japanese from your from your article.
A small amount.
So Zeta's got a bunch of Japanese characters after their name.
I can't. Sorry, my eyes are horrible too.
Yeah, I got a hat.
Oh, Gundam. Zeta Gundam.
Oh, Zeta Gundam. Okay, so now I know how to
Zeta
say your
Gundam,
name,
yeah.
Zeta. Okay, so Zeta Gundam asks 2 questions. First, how many office dogs are there? So let's see. So we've got Roscoe.
We got Roscoe.
We've got the giraffe, zebra, tiger. Giraffe, tiger.
Oto? Is it
That's Oto.
Oto. Yeah, Oto. Okay.
got-
We've got Danger and
Falcor.
And Falcor.
Okay.
We've got Carrie's dog.
We carry
Esme.
dog.
We've got Luis's
Esme.
dog,
Yeah, what's Lisa's dog's name? Kira.
Kira.
We've
And
got
then-
the poodle, the big old poodle.
Yeah,
Leah's poodle.
Leah's dog. I can't remember Leah's dog's name.
So that's at
seen a
least
poodle.
7. Yeah, the big old brown poodle.
There's a
then-
corgi.
Yeah,
I've seen a
The,
corgi.
the
That's-
corgi
that's
is
Louise's
Kira.
dog.
That's
Corgi's
Kira. Sorry.
And then Chris Vanderleest would bring his dog in occasionally.
Okay, that's at least 8 then.
I'll call it Gunther.
Okay, Gunther. Its name is now Gunther, whatever Chris says.
Yep.
So at least 8, and there's probably at least one that we're forgetting that comes in occasionally. And so that was the first question. The second question was, have you guys considered making the SWAT armor that the armor zombies have wearable for community members? So this is a big design question because, I think there was a discussion early on in the outfits team about whether or not outfits were going to convey mechanical benefits, right?
Yeah. Definitely landed on the side for at least for now of no.
Yeah, we had to be really careful about that because, I mean, even the army helmets were like, but they're cool, so we put
Yeah.
them in.
Yeah, but it is kind of questionable because you guys have seen this in a lot of MMOs that have had to sort of split the appearance of an outfit from its mechanical effect, because once an outfit has a mechanical effect, you often feel like, well, obviously all of my community members have to wear this, and now it's undermined my creative expression.
Yeah, yeah. You can't wear your ninja hoodie if like I need the SWAT armor so I don't get bit a lot.
So we're basically treating the idea of outfits that actually augment your stats or give you benefits and stuff like that as a separate feature that we could still consider for the future. But if we did it, we would try to find some way for it to play nicely with the current outfits feature, so that you still have control over your character's appearance and can treat sort of getting mechanical benefits as a separate thing. So we haven't nailed down the exact right solution for that, and we don't know when or if we might do it. Right now, we're pretty much on the path of we're going to be supporting this outfit creative customization feature for a while. But so if you guys want that though, definitely take it to the wish list at support.stateofdecay.com because that's where you can tell us that you want that feature really badly, and that can affect our priorities around here. So Dan31 wants to know, why is there no dog of the stream? Why is there not a stream dog right here, right now with us?
They'd get so bored with us.
Yes, we actually have had a dog near the stream before.
Whenever
often with Joe.
Wonder's in,
Yeah.
the dogs are either in the room or not, depending on whether they're acting like cats or not that day.
And similarly, whenever Joe Swarner is driving, there's a decent chance that his greyhound is sitting off to the side,
Being very
asleep.
flat.
Yeah, impersonating a rug over by the side of the stream. So they have been here. You just haven't known about it a lot of the time. Oh, Megan wanted us to know that Chris's dog his name is Riley, and not Gunther.
You mean Gunther?
Gunther? It's Gunther now. Sorry,
Come on,
Chris.
Megan, work with me here. I miss Riley. He hasn't been in a while.
Thomas Kruger had a question for me, which is why did we remove the radio command for finding military survivors? Just wanted to know. So the reason for that, the reason it existed in the first place was because we removed the military outfits from the game so early after release. Like, it was only a few months in when there was a bug that sort of made us feel like we had to remove those outfits, and then people were asking for them consistently for months and months and months and months. People who wanted to have like an all-military community just kept asking and asking and asking and asking. And so when we finally got to the point where we freed up the right resources to make it happen and get it into the game, I just really wanted to sort of just let those folks blow off all the steam they wanted and just get all the military survivors they possibly could at the time. And so I added that radio command to just let people basically let them do 6 months of military recruiting in only a few weeks. And so that's why that was there. But State of Decay, sort of thematically, State of Decay 2 is primarily about, it's about a wide variety of characters. Like, we want all the characters that you meet over the course of the game to be very diverse and to sort of represent people from a lot of different backgrounds, with a lot of different experiences, different skills. Like, thematically, like, one of the messages of this game, if you wanted to call it a message, it's not like an overt message or anything, but one of the things that I take from it as a creator and also as a player is just the idea that there's not just one kind of person that makes a good community. You need to have a huge variety of people and lots of very different people. And so the idea of sort of having our main recruitment method in the game specifically call out one type of person who's a special type of person that you always want to recruit, it felt thematically a little bit off. And so I wanted to put that in there temporarily to let people do 6 months of military recruiting in 6 weeks. But then once we got the outfit customization into the game, and people could put military fatigues on as many characters as they wanted to, pulled it out again. So to sort of to keep the game more thematically consistent. So hopefully that's a good explanation for you. The military enclaves are still in the game. Like, they still can spawn at a low rate. About 1 in 20 enclaves will have characters with a military background. So they're still totally there. It's just you can't just call them directly anymore. Yeah, so that's my explanation. I don't know if you'll like that explanation or not, but it's the one that I can give you. So hopefully that's okay.
That's our story, and we're sticking to it.
Exactly. All right, so we're coming up on the time when I was thinking that we might want to show our trailer. So you guys have probably, especially those of you who are watching this on YouTube, you've probably already seen our trailer because it's right before this stream in your queue. It's the last video that we released. But some of you might only watch this live, and you might not realize that we came out with a trailer for the Outfits update. And so I kind of wanted to share it with you folks, just in case you wanted to see it or didn't know it existed. If you want to listen to the sound, I've got headphones for you, or you can just sit and watch it silently.
I have heard it.
You've heard it before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Multiple times.
I want to put on the headphones.
I play the music in my head.
Because the music is amazing.
Music is good.
So I'm putting on my headphones. Let's watch this trailer real quick. So you guys know what this trailer is for already. You've already been playing the game, but let's check it out. So I love that trailer. That is the best trailer we have ever done. And you can see, we just shot that with stuff we happened to have lying around the house. You might recognize this.
It's so disturbing
this
that his crotch is right in the middle of the camera.
Yes, there's like lovely hip bone over here. Yeah. This is great. To answer a lot of your questions, that was Noel, our IT expert, who was the star of that particular show. Yeah, actually, we could even kind of go over it again a little bit with us chatting here. I forgot to put Brant on the camera. Sorry, Brant.
That's okay.
But yeah, so basically, Wonder put out a call for anybody in the office who owned clothes that looked like the clothes that we had in the Outfits update.
Just for information's sake, half the clothes he tries on are mine.
So Brant, again, noted clothes horse, Brant Fitzgerald, provides not only my wardrobe, but also the wardrobe of this
I think it says
trailer.
that most of my clothes are ratty and look like they've been busy hot.
Yeah, so that's Noel. So we all know and love that guy. I guess he had to just try on a million clothes. I wasn't there for this. I don't think any of us were. So I'd love for. I should have actually dragged Wonder or Alan or somebody in here to talk
Alan,
about
who
this.
did the...
Oh, right. It's so loud. There. I could turn the video down, but now it's almost over anyway. Wonder just ran in and told us that we couldn't hear anything we were saying. Great! That's how I do things in
We
this
run a
on this
tight
stream.
ship here.
Absolutely tight ship. This is the most professional operation you guys have ever seen. Anyway, thanks for telling. Oh, you guys were all totally saying it in the chat, and we were not paying any attention. Whew! Awesome. Well, anyway, what we were saying was Wonder basically put out a call for us to like contribute clothes. And Brant contributed a lot of them. But anybody who had a cowboy hat lying around, anybody who had a dead body in their home, could contribute props to this thing. And they went out and shot it. And, Alan, who does a lot of our like marketing art and stuff, he shot this thing, and
He also did the awesome video for the first.
Oh yeah, the Cash Beaumont one, right? Yeah,
that awesome music with the spinning weapons. Alan's amazing.
Yeah, he kind of created this whole aesthetic that so far 2 of our trailers have had, which is sort of this 80s synthwave VHS sort of vibe.
And this disgusting gentleman behind us is the work of Doug Williams, our art director, studio art director.
Yeah.
This is what he does for fun. Okay? He has this stuff lying around his house. I'm going to lift the camera up so that...
Look at all the grossness.
There it is.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah. It's horrifying. And he has that just sitting in his house.
Yeah, if you actually want to see a little bit, sort of see into Doug's mind a little bit, you can follow him on Twitter at DougBlot. You can see a lot of just the crazy art that he comes up with in his spare time. He had an entire phase where he was just making everything out of meat. Just guns made out of meat, cars made out of meat. We have a van made out of meat because we happened to be making the Independence Pack during his meat phase.
We have a van made out of meat?
We have a van made out, well...
No, the van drops meat.
Yeah,
okay.
it's painted with meat and it farts meat.
Okay. That makes way more sense.
That's one of those things where it's like a Jurassic Park moment where we didn't ask if we should, just whether we could.
Yeah, exactly.
And somebody goes, "Well, I can make it drop meat when you hit the horn."
Obviously.
Like, well, why not? Come on.
All right, so it looks like Megan says that according to, she's tracking this poll about my hair color, apparently purple is winning. So if you're anti-purple and you haven't voted yet, you might want to vote now. Because you're getting, this might be your last chance. So I think red was !vote 1 and blue is !vote 3.
What about black?
But you can just stick with, I'm not going.
Come on.
No.
You won't go bald. You won't.
Oh, it's I don't know.
I just can't work with you.
It'll blend in with my entire wardrobe. It's just too much. I have to have an accent color.
Where's Eric? He must be.
Oh, by the way, so Wonder pointed out that helmet that Noel puts on in the video is the helmet that was actually scanned with photogrammetry to get into the game. So a lot of this stuff, and this guy, I think it might have been scanned at some point to put into the game.
Surprising amount of art and things. Turns out people make a real thing, and that.
Yeah, and you guys will find out on October 25th another thing that was created in the real world horrifically, and then photogrammetized. Is that the word into the game? I don't know.
Sure.
We scanned it. It was scanned into the game.
Yeah, we've got some people who are really getting good at working with photogrammetry and being creative about what kinds of things we're going to try and put into the game.
Wonder also wanted me to point out that this guy usually lives at the office, but we had to get him to a different location in order to shoot the trailer, which meant wrapping a dead body in a garbage bag and carrying it outside through the streets of Seattle.
You want to roll it up in a rug just to be
just to be really, really suspicious. Yeah, exactly.
Nothing wrong with that.
We got about 12 minutes left, so if anybody's got any additional questions for Ken, or any just additional questions about the outfits update, or whatever you want to ask us, feel free to send your questions in. We want to keep answering you. Here, yeah, awesome Twitch dude is like, imagine if a cop pulls you over with that in your car. Luckily, I think they could probably tell that it was not real.
At least it's been dead for a long time.
Nothing to see here.
You probably didn't kill it. The statute of limitations.
Yes, it's well past.
It's murder. Murder doesn't have a statute of limitations, but if it's manslaughter, maybe it does. I don't know how the rules work.
We can drive around with it and find out.
Oh, that's what I need to
I'm
write.
not a lawyer,
Damn.
so.
I will put. I don't have one of those. I can put that in there though.
So, what would you consider like your favorite games of all time?
I was just talking with someone about this recently. It's an impossible question most of the time, but
Yeah.
then I came up with I can tell you the top 3 in no particular order as of right now.
Okay.
Tomorrow would maybe a different answer. We got Undertale's real high. I love
nice.
Undertale a lot. Factorio is maybe one of the games I've spent the most time on.
That is a game that is loved by more programmers in my life than
It is,
anything else.
with good reason. And a recent one, Outer Wilds.
I played that. I played the heck out of
It's
that one.
so good.
I love that game.
I bought that because Geoffrey was so crazy about it, and I couldn't even get. Whoa! Hold on.
That's not going great for you.
That was the wrong. What? That screamer was made out of titanium. No, I got it and figured out how to get off the planet, but then got to the first little moon and then didn't know what to do because there was a puzzle there, and I'm a blunt instrument.
Well, see, the thing about Outer Wilds is you arrive at a place that has a puzzle. You might literally not know what you need to know in order to solve that puzzle. Or the puzzle might just be a tiny clue that's going to help you figure out a different puzzle somewhere else. It's the kind of game where it's like, when I first played it, I think I played it for about an hour on my stream, and didn't know what I was doing and was completely lost and thought I was going to put it down for a while until other people encouraged me, no, you have to go back.
Keep going. Yep.
And like once I came back, I ended up, and it doesn't mean that everyone who goes back is going to necessarily have a great experience, but once I went back and started really spending time on the different planets, I started realizing how deep this mystery was.
Yeah, there's a lot of not knowing what to do in that game, and that's part of it.
And it's kind of the funny thing about it is that it's like a Metroidvania game, only instead of getting mechanical upgrades in the game, you just get knowledge. Like you could technically, if you knew everything, in your very first playthrough, go through and win the game.
I've been meaning to do that because in some ways there's reasons that makes some odd that it would be weird to do that.
Yeah.
And I'm interested in what happens if you actually do it.
Exactly. So it's just a fascinating. I mean, it's just a fascinating experiment. So I'm so glad you like that because I like it too.
It's such a good game.
I'm doing great over here.
Oh,
Slowly roll back up.
so we got a question from
Just
Perona.
like real life.
Perona wants to know, what was the trickiest bug you can think of that you got while you were working on outfits?
Trickiest bug.
It's okay. I divest my bugs get pushed out of my brain when I'm done with them. It's hard for me to think of them.
I'm trying to think of some. There was a lot of issues with. We were talking about how the bodies have kind of arms and hands and things in them.
Yeah.
We use kind of the same stuff to do that that we use to chop arms and things off of people.
Oh, right, yeah.
And so there was a lot of confusing issues with that and getting things to, because it's also like you put a hat on, we hide part of it, uses the same stuff. A lot of issues with that and applying different types of things, like what happens when I put a long sleeve on and then a short sleeve on. My arms are still gone now for some reason.
Oh, it's just
hands.
missing
It's just
missing
hands.
section. You're kind of like the characters with bionic arms in the Voltron
Yeah,
cartoon.
yeah.
It's like they just got that floating forearm.
Yep.
It's sort of vaguely near there where their elbow would be.
Yeah, so lots of issues with that, and then the similar one that I think was had the same thing of if a Juggernaut gets you real bad and kind of does the full tear you in half move.
Yeah.
It was like they pulled a Taffy Man in half, and it was just kind of strung together across the middle, and that was not supposed to.
Can someone, Becky516 has asked maybe the most important question so far. Cake or pie?
Pie.
Cake. I don't know what's wrong with
It really depends on the cake or the pie, probably, but for the most part, pie.
Yeah, my family was about 50-50. Like my mom and I were cake, and my dad and my sister were pie. So it didn't quite cause a schism in the family, but it could have. It has the potential.
Yeah,
The correct
it's
answer is
divisive.
pie.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I'm gonna agree with Brant this time.
Yeah. Correct
It's
answer is pie.
unusual, but
Ken and I happen to sit next to each other, and he has to put up with my random mumblings and occasional just shouting obscenities for no reason.
It makes me feel better when
You've
I
actually
do it,
done.
though,
You've
so.
done amazing.
I haven't. Yeah, I've survived so far. Well, we rearrange seats here pretty frequently, so I shouldn't have to last.
You only have
longer.
to suffer for a little
Yeah.
while. Understood.
So BDowns9210 wants to know what are our stream names if we stream on any of these channels. So I stream as Durangatang. If you guys want to know about it, I'll stick a link in the doobly-doo of this video down where Brant and I usually have our Twitter handles so that you can bother us after the stream.
And I never stream. I just go into other people's streams.
Yeah. Are you a streamer?
Streamcasher. I am not. I was experimenting when I was working solo for a while with like streaming development stuff.
Oh yeah.
Turns out it's when you are doing a VR thing and have like a headset on, it's kind of doesn't really work all that well.
Yeah,
maybe again one day. But
we did a stream here with me in a VR headset, it's actually our least popular video on YouTube. Partly because it's the only one where we're not playing State of Decay 2, and people come here for the State of Decay 2
It was
content.
actually one of my favorites because you looked so ridiculous.
Brant kept sneaking up and messing with me while I was, something scary would be happening on the screen. It'd be like tickling my neck or something like that. It was messed up. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll stick a card up here on YouTube so you guys can find that video if you really want to look at it.
They don't.
They don't. They probably don't. That's fine. But whatever. People are asking us questions. So let's see here. What else we got?
Dope.
Is there anything you're playing now that you're super interested in?
Right now, not a whole ton. Right now, I've been doing some smaller. I started. I need to finish it. Control is kind of the last big one I've been playing. Control's also
Big fans of Control
Control's
right here.
very
Yes, we love Control.
I love all of the stuff you can pick up and read in that game is fantastic.
Yeah, so usually, like, the people who follow me on my stream will see, they make fun of me because anytime I open something, I'm like, oh, lore, and I just close it and I just move on because I want to get further
through the
into the game. But Control, I read every single thing I picked up because it was all
I'll stop in the middle of a gunfight because I saw a thing across the hall. Like, hang on, guys, I gotta. There's a report I need to read.
So, should I abandon some of our other ones? That one we could probably abandon. Just to get some of the new ones.
Yeah, totally. That makes sense.
What's this one? Dismember 300 legs.
Yeah, I've been doing that one at home.
You need swordsmanship.
Or shotguns. I've been using shotguns.
Oh.
Knock their legs off, yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, no, that works. So, Perona asks, are you interested in telling anyone what you were working on before you came to Undead?
It's a competing product. It's another video game.
Yes. So maybe not.
It's
up to you.
I have a game that's in early access on Steam called The Technician. It's a circuit puzzler.
Actually, I've played some like Zachtronic type games.
Yeah.
Is it that kind of?
It is similar in some ways. It is about like kind of solving circuit puzzles under pressure, which in video games normally means getting shot at. So. Doing some weird circuit hacking stuff while you're getting shot at.
That sounds
It
fascinating.
was a fun way to experiment with a lot of different stuff. Also, I have not pushed an update to that game since I started working here. So.
Which, not surprising. Sorry, all you Technician fans out there, we're so sorry that we've been monopolizing Ken's time.
3 or 4 of you.
So I think we're getting close to the end. Well, one thing I wanted to call out before we quit, the Blaze Experience. I don't know if he's in the chat right now, but Derek Blaze of the Blaze Experience podcast is having his 100th episode this next weekend. So this is the only podcast that is primarily devoted to State of Decay 2. He plays other games. He talks about other games on there too. A lot of survival games. Borderlands 3. He's a big fan of. So it's not just State of Decay 2 content in there, but he goes through all of our patch notes, his commentary on all of like every new feature we add, all the content in the game. He ranks stuff, and he gets into discussions with some of our top level players. He does a lot of good stuff in that podcast, and he's having his 100th episode, and I'm really excited about it because I listen to his podcast every week so that I can hear another perspective on our game. And so if you guys haven't checked out his podcast yet and you're into that sort of thing, please go check it out. It's called The Blaze Experience, and actually it's hard to spell that. It's BLAISEXPERIENCE. I'll put a link in the doobly-doo about it.
One of the most knowledgeable people about State of Decay and how to play it.
So he's doing a big, some kind of big thing for his 100th episode. So definitely, if you haven't checked it out, go check it out. Because if you're interested in State of Decay, because you're here watching a State of Decay stream, I think you might find something you like in that too. So that's that. Oh hey, we had a question from the Silver that I missed before, which is, do you have to do a lot of math to be a programmer?
It depends on the thing you're working on.
Yeah.
It certainly helps to be able to do a lot of math. In particular, gameplay programming, you do a lot of I didn't have to do a whole lot of it for outfits or anything, but vector math, like rotations and things like that.
Like
for,
figuring out if something's pointed this way, but something hits it this way,
Yeah.
where does it end up going?
Yep. And some basic physics stuff occasionally.
But is it less about sort of doing the figuring in your head and more about knowing the logic of how math works?
Yeah, it's you don't have to sit there and run through the formula in your head most of the time, because odds are
Yeah.
you're just going to code it, and the computer's pretty good at doing the math. It turns out.
Yeah. But you have to know what math
You have to
do.
know what math to do, and yeah, being able to map the thing, kind of the physical motions you want into equations helps a lot.
Like picturing something in your head and then knowing what math represents that
Yes,
picture in your head.
Yeah.
It's also the reason why I was never going to be a programmer.
So I actually really love math, but I never got good enough at it to be able to do that kind
that's
of
one
work.
of those things you have to do a lot of before you're ever good at it.
So, okay, it's 4 o'clock. We got to get out of here.
No!
Thank you so much, Ken, for coming on here
Thank
and
you.
answering all these questions and telling us
I
about.
get to come into this weird dark room. It's kind of nice in here.
Exactly. It's we got all the big windows everywhere else, but here you could feel like you're hiding in a cave. It's wonderful.
Yeah, if we weren't streaming, it'd be nap time in here.
Yeah, probably so. Thank you, Brant, for running through the game. We weren't even paying any attention to what you were doing most
I
of the
got
time,
like
and
three
you
or
kept
four.
it going.
I got like 3 or 4.
Got that chocolate jacket. That's all that matters.
I got Choco Jacket.
So you kept the folks who were tired of our voices still had something to look at because of what you were doing. I appreciate that.
I was supposed to tell this guy I was ready to leave.
Uh,
All right, I will pause. We're done.
Yeah. So, but most of all, thank you, audience. Everybody's been playing State of Decay. We've got more people playing State of Decay right now after the outfits update than we're playing it like last July, soon in the wake of Heartland's release. And it's great for us. We love seeing all this engagement from you folks, all the responses that you've been doing. It's awesome. Thank you for playing our game. Thank you for coming to our stream. And we will get out of here.
Yep, we love you guys.
But we're actually going
I know.
to be
it's-
sitting
we
here
can-
awkwardly for
we
20
can
seconds.
sit here and
Fair.
talk about them, but don't say anything mean because they can hear us.
Did purple win?
I think
Is that the
Purple won.
final?
I think Purple won.
Is that
yes.
the final tally?
I think so. I'm going with Purple.
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 Purple.